Oh, wow, this garden is getting beautiful. Good morning, you two. How are you?
How are you two? How are you guys?
We are just speculating, on this garden of us. We want to revamp as usual.
Okay.
A little bit of less, of everything. But that's soon to come. In the meantime, we are watching where all the fairies was. There where I show you, there in the swimming pool, there's about every full moon. You can see them, especially in the mist. And then there in the garden, there's a whole family of Kanete.
And the one here at the swimming pool
yes,
also.
yes. And there's a pixie round about there, in between the two gnomes, the concrete gnomes. And then in this area, this is where Various Verolda taught us how to see fairies. And you can imagine how many fairies are there in this part of the garden. But now, yeah, let's go inside and start discussing all this beautiful stuff. Are we ready, Team Baramas?
Ready as always.
Ready as
Aaron.
always.
Hi to all our friends out there watching this program, and a warm-hearted welcome to all of you. Welcome here in our cabin called Volentalava, meaning house where you will get peace of mind. Tranquility. What else? Love.
Yes, everything good.
Humbleness,
All right.
whatever. Now, yeah, let me introduce us first. On my right hand side is Nikita's spouse, and she is Beba Zola. She is giving consciousness to the body named Yeliska. She's part of our Brahms team. And then this is Ibulama, the soul body's name, and it's giving. Ibulama is an Indian, actually a guy, and he is giving consciousness to this body we call Nikita. What a beautiful name. And on my left hand side is my spouse Kabosi. This is the name of the body, the soul that's giving consciousness to this beautiful body's name is Porentiel. And myself, I'm Aaron Jordan, and the four of us here represent Baramas Tower of Light. Please feel as if you are part of our conversation on this side. Relax, focus, and feel part of us here where we are right now.
If you haven't watched all the previous programs in this Ancient Wisdom Secrets series, please catch up in order to understand more easily what we discuss with you. Names, titles, and happenings might be new to you, so please catch up.
And please remember to share this and former program information to as many spiritual people as you know. Maybe some of your family or friends need this information for more than you do. Press the share button, the subscribe button, as well as the little bell icon and the like button to be in line for more ancient wisdom secrets.
Today we are going to reveal ancient wisdom secrets on whether fairies, gnomes, pixies, salamanders and other so-called nature spirits exist in our dimension, and if you can see them and learn how to see them.
The first question I would like to ask you people out there, as well as to you three here with me, what happened, which is the reason why people do not believe in the so-called nature spirits anymore? Let's discuss it. What would you say? Nikita.
I'd say they dwelled off the right side, and the church is
Mind
brain
controlling,
control,
yes,
and
for
there's so
sure.
many things.
Eliska, what else?
I would say it's definitely the mind control, because if the people can broad their spectrum of knowledge, then they cannot be mind
Yes,
controlled.
my dear. Do you have anything else?
I feel like Varias told us many months back. I mean, it's years actually.
Yeah,
back.
it's actually yes.
He told us our people that's grown forgetting how to be a child. And a child is the ones that actually see fairies and gnomes.
Very
and all those
important.
things. So we need to come back to a point that we have the system of believing like a child, and our own system will then allow us to see them. Because at this point in time, we only, as humans, go and see all the big things that we need to do is work, money, and we don't have time to play. And we need to play
Yes.
like childs to see the
Definitely,
fairies.
yes.
You've got a very interesting point there, Cabos. You know, why is it that only children see fairies? Because they don't look with hardened eyes or with,
Yes.
you know, human beings are radiating. If you look people in the eyes when you talk at them, make a point of it and say, what do you see in those eyes? It's more often not a very child-looking eye. You know that. What can we call it? What is a child actually?
Innocent.
Innocent. It's a
Yes.
a very innocent look. And this is what fairies and all this others are about. They can see it's a child. So, yes, they will make contact. But if you come in there, where is the people who believe in this rubbish, you know,
Yeah.
forget it. Even your voice irritates them.
Yeah,
So, throughout millennium, spiritual, well-developed people like the red-skinned shamans of Eastern and Northern Asia, and later the Red Indian tribes of America, as well as plenty of other shamans around the world, were concerned what would happen when the earth get overpopulated. Now you can imagine yourself, there's a lot of things that could happen. The earth can tilt. That's one thing. What else? War is going to break
yeah,
out.
it's already,
Pestilences is going to, I mean, it's a written matrix. It's a, if you do this, that is going to happen. We don't name it actually a matrix, but it is a system. You can, but not as in the film The Matrix, but more or less the same. And please, keep it in mind what I share with you about the previous ancient time spans through human development during the Western times of now, through the Atlantis time span, then through way back to the Lemurian, way back to the Consolatici humanities, etc. How they all went from primitive to technological developed humanities who created nuclear weapons of mass destruction. And that is very important because a very few people, I think you out there are all about psychic and spiritual, even if you are just partly, even if you just are not mind controlled and you can think for yourself, logic and senseful.
Yeah.
You know, then you can ask yourself a lot of questions. I mean, there are so many. I always say, if all this archaeologists and the theologians and people like us, the spiritual people and you out there, if we can all sit around a table and present to one another what each and every department has achieved, because now there's 10 millions of evidence on the shelves, but now this group comes, there cannot be fairies because it is folklore. You know, please. There's a reason why people became that way. Also keep in mind, you know, that there's a very, let's share this ancient wisdom secret. There's a very old ancient wisdom secret that says that everything that is now already was previously and will be again in the future. You know, it's like biorhythms going up and down, the highs and the lows of Mother Nature here and the people on earth, etc. So they are also concerned about what people on earth now are concerned of. And what is that? They also fought their wars and developed their individual humanities just as we do today. So it doesn't matter if you are a farmer or if you live in a jungle. You are more in nature than people living in the city. And listen to the following. So what about it? What about it? The fact is that people living in jungles or in true nature far away from the cities will see all the so-called nature creatures if they start looking for them. You know, and to come back to that old fact, you know, if you, the best something you like in life, let's say it's a beautiful woman, and you enter a room, what are you going to notice for in the first place? Beautiful women. If we are, let's say me as an example, if I enter a room, I will focus on what I feel, and then I will start looking which person's aura look, you know, okay to have a conversation with, not somebody who's intellectually, as far as this is concerned, about 201 million years behind the time. Remember that forests or nature creatures are small, not forests, but remember that forest or nature creatures are small when they live in forests. They are big in posture, or if they are big in posture, they can be incarnated into human bodies, which happens all the time.
Is this where so-called folklore had its origin?
Yes, Nikita. The longer you live in a city, or the further away you live from real nature, the quicker you are going to believe that nature creatures are folklore that doesn't exist in real life. Why? Another reason, if you live in a city and your parents and grandparents also lived in cities, how can they know that so-called folklore creatures does exist if they never had the chance to see one of them? Now, how many decades are people living in cities? And I can promise you, if you go all around the globe and you make a honest test on all the nationalities and ask them, do you believe in nature spirits? And if so, in which of them do you believe? You will listen to the reasons. You know, the people in the cities will tell you, no, we don't know. My mom and her mom and my dad's great-grandfather, we all lived in cities and never have we ever even heard about it. But you're not going to hurt. Somebody's not going to fall through your ceiling and tell you, oh, there's a fairy in the house. Did you see that? No, it's not going to happen that way. And let me share another ancient wisdom secret with you. Most people confuse some third world or third dimension demonic life forms in human-like bodies, with light-side nature consciousness giving life forms like fairies, gnomes, etc. Remember what I said. Most people, not all the people. There are people around the globe who knows more than what we know and who can see more than we can see. You who are watching this program now can be one of those people I'm referring to who can see fairies, gnomes, salamanders, you name it, pixies. You can be very easily, I think a lot of you, whoa, if you are honest, you know you can lie for a lot of people, but you cannot lie for yourself. Luckily, I prefer not to be a liar, and you know, you will see in my programs, if I'm not sure of a thing, I will state it. If I say a thing, I'm sure of it. And not that I read in somebody else's book. I'm a researcher. I do my own research. And you know, the only names and stuff that we have here, it comes from the Most High and the Light Side kingdoms. I mean, all the guides and angelical beings, gods, goddesses, Hefkanaams, you name them. they are with us and they lead us, you know. So just remember that all this nature consciousness giving life forms are representatives of either dark side or light side kingdoms. They are like humans. Not all of them as individuals are true light side representatives. There are dark side representatives among them. And you know, I've long time ago I saw a book, a big book, and on the pages were the lady who wrote the book said that she caught the fairies, you know, the bad fairies, and if she take the book like this and the fairy says the goops, and then the imprint will be there. I don't kill even a bad fairy. Would you?
No.
Yeah, because I cannot create even the smallest little detail of that life form, so I will not do it. But there are, you know what I will do, if I must find out or see a negative jinn in somebody's house, I will warn those people, you know, to say, hey, my dear, your house is in for a fire or something. Now, yeah, when most Western Christian people hear the word jinn, like in a genie, they immediately declare it as demonic of nature, which is not true at all. You people out there, I know some of you will know what I'm going to tell you now. You know, as a child, I also read stories of Aladdin, and Aladdin and the 40 Thieves was one little book. I can remember it. I think I was in grade 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere there. But in any case, there are genies that could be definitely representing the dark side. But not only jinns, fairies, there could be dark side fairies. I mean, what? As above, so below. So all the life forms here will be as it is in other dimensions also, you know, on planets which serves as schools of learning. But all jinns represent the fire element. Now, true light side jinns work under the guidance of the Archangel Michael, thank you, who works under the super all-creator Hefkanim of all stars, which his sons, and his name is Amun-Ra. And Amun-Ra also works under the very high Hefkanim of fire, which, what is his name? Ketja, thank you, whom I saw in person. Now, I would like to discuss this one with you. You know, it is so awesome. Somewhere in the King James Bible, I think it is in the Revelation, the book of Revelation, the last book, I think it's chapter 6. But in any case, one day, way back in time, we did a shamanic ceremony, what the four of us did the previous Saturday. But during that one ceremony, all the candles were lit and I was going into a very big trance. Now, usually when I'm doing it, there will always be a pencil with paper under my hand, and although I'm in I lay down position, you know, whatever I see through the Mageda irises, or if I go out of the body, I will write down. I keep the connection here. And as soon as I went out, there was an angelical being first, a big one, and then he invited me. And as soon as I went to him, he kind of turned around and showed me what was in the distance. And, you know, you go there, but it looks as if that person is coming towards you. It goes so easy, actually. But to get used to what happens, you know, it feels if you are sitting still and the other person comes to you. But what I saw was in the space out there, I don't know where, in what realm, I think it was our third dimension, but there was a, you know, a sleigh. What is a sleigh?
A sled.
Yes.
Yes, a sled.
But no, you know, like Father Christmas sleigh, there's no goats or anything in front of it. It was just the whole sleigh was open and it was on fire. But the person who stood on top of it had a huge wand in his hand and everything on him was flaming. I mean, he was, I saw him from behind and he, you know, there was not a part of him that was not in flame. But it didn't bother him at all. And I thought, what the heck was this? And when the person was about, I'm naming him a person for a very good reason. I'm going to rectify that soon. But as soon as he was about, let's say, 20 meters from me, could be a little bit, maybe, no, it was about 20. Because I could see his eyes very directly, and when he turned about, you know, like looking at me, I was immediately awake in my body again. I got so startled because the flames were coming out of his eyes and everything. But in any case, I made a note of that and I went into trance again and compiled the rest of the notes. But in any case, the next, that was the following Sunday when we had our special meeting with our guides, during which we have a two-way communication session. You know, I can ask and they will give me the answer. And I asked them on this what I saw. Who was that? Was it an angel or what was it on that, the flaming, yes, and they told me no, his name is Ketja. The Christians are, they wrote about him in Revelation where they declare him to be the Son of God, the Lamb. Now, I mean, no, I know what Jesus looks like, or looked like when he was on earth. I mean, the fact that he was a Nazarene meant that he never cut his beard or his hair, not even a centimeter of it. Now, my friend, if you are 30 years old of age and never cut your hair is going to hang on your bum. That is for sure. If you've got a long beard, it will most probably hang there. I know a lot of 30-year-old guys who's going through life with this. You know, when you see them, they look about, let's say, 70, 80. But if you come closer, they are not even 23, you know, but they sit here with this huge beards and whatever, which is fashion, I know it. But I mean to take a Messiah or a Christ like Jesus or Jeshua the Dorper, and, you know, the theologians who didn't research deity, science, they come and they declare a Messiah to be, you know, that Ketja, he's not even a very high Hefkenam of fire. Listen to this, how they explained it to me. On earth, we've got the south direction, which houses the element of what?
Fire.
Fire.
Yes.
North is?
Uriel and...
Yes, so you know it. But then under Michael, the archangel, he works under Amun-Ra, as we just say. But who is Amun-Ra? A lot of people know him as the sun god or something like that, which he is not. It is an ordinary name for him, but if you know his rank, you know, one day, the same day when we had this discussion about Ketja, what I saw in my trance state, they also told me who Ketja was. In fact, now, Michael, or Michael, works under, and I mean he's around the whole earth. You know, he must look. And then under him, or on top of him, very far up in rank, will be Amun-Ra, who created all the stars that presently exist in this whole universe, including the different dimensions, in all dimensions of this universe. Now, can you imagine how high in rank? People, if you go on internet, you see how big is the star, which is the sun. Canis Majoris, my friend. You cannot imagine what you will have to put in place to create a star like that. This is Amun-Ra, and he's working under Ketja. Can you imagine how high in the rank is this Ketja? Now, a jinn can be representative of the dark side, the true dark side, or he could be a representative of the true light side. Aladdin is the most known name of a real jinn. Aladdin on his flying carpet. Now, before I go on, I would like to share another secret. One of the ex-Baramus members, a woman, had the privilege to meet her guide. And you know, if somebody meets a guide, we always go back to the board, as we say, and confirm with the Most High, his representatives as guides, to see if it's correct. You know, we can also make mistakes. If you're in a trance, if you've never been in a trance, you will not know what I'm talking about. You will know, because if you're in a trance, the emotions are not what it should be. You know, all depends. You're so naked when it comes to sensing all the vibrations that it's actually, you know, it is a weird effect, but not weird. It is more for the first time in this life, while you are in this body, you feel what it feels not to be in a body, to be just your pure self. It is awesome. But in any case, this lady, one of her guides, I cannot remember the name, but he was a jinn, and his transport is a magic carpet. And I mean, things like that exist. People who can fly a carpet will never tell you, because they will be captured and put in a cave, and the scientists will start, you know, dismantling his brain if it comes to that, to see how he get it right. So yes, forget about it. You will only see those flying Aladdins when you are lucky enough to be in astral, in a plane where they usually tap in to fly there. Remember the fourth dimension, crossing over? How many sub dimensions does 49 to the power of 49? In other words, 49 times 49 times 49 times 49 times, until you get 49. Then you know. Sorry for that, it's only the cats that
Sorting
our
each other
cat
out.
children. I think most people will know the name Aladdin.
Ernst, I know you believe in nature's spirits with reason. But what is your reason for believing in jinns, as an example?
Yeah, before I share with you why I believe in the existence of jinns, take note of the following. The word genie is the anglicized, is that the correct word? Version of the Arabic word jinn. Now, jinns can be good or malevolent, being sorry for my bad pronunciation. Dark side as well as light side jinns have ranks according to the power they individually have. Now, jinns representing the dark side will cause all kinds of fires, doesn't matter where. They understand electricity and electricity appliances like kettles, etc. And also they know open flames, red hot glowing coals, gas stoves, cigarette lighters, etc. One day, you know, if you put a lighter, let's say it's an ordinary big lighter, and you put it on the dashboard of your vehicle and you leave the car in the open sun, I mean, there's a good chance that it will explode. But what is the chance if it is at night? And in the garage, you know, all of a sudden the lighter which were on the dashboard exploded and the whole car is burning down. That's a jinn. We had cases like that, and we did ask the guys, and it was a bad side jinn. So that is only one example. If a dark side representative jinn lives in your house or business, he will tamper with the electricity in your house as well as with the electricity appliances.
Ernst, I think our friends out there would like to know if jinns representing the dark side kingdoms will let your house burn down.
Nikita and friends out there, if one of them shares your house with you, you can expect unexplainable electrical problems of all kinds. They will cause you to burn yourself unexplainably. You know, people will put the pot on the stove with boiling water, and the two handles are here now, they turn around. I mean, what is the chance that something is going to get stuck on the handle? And this is how they burn. I mean, a lot of people with big houses, they have cameras during daytime, nighttime, all the time. And I mean, they capture it, you know, it's like somebody does this. Let's say this is now very wide, you know, a jinn will do something like this to hook it there, but very quickly. And you can actually see where he's doing this. Now, dark side jinns are being used by, among other people, knowing black magic. You know, in Africa, the witch doctors and sagomas will call up dark side jinns to burn down their enemies' houses and or businesses. In fact, we need to go to a friend of ours' house tomorrow, where I expect it's not a jinn, but it's something like a jinn causing all kinds of problems there. Now put a key in a lock and it will break down. What is the chance? When you do this, something is wrong. You know, everything just goes wrong there. So me and Cabos is going to have a look. That will be tomorrow. And maybe in one of the future programs we will discuss whatever we found it there. Now, yeah, remember now, Sagamas and black magicians and all that, they will summon jinns if they don't like you, so that jinn can cause accidents in your house with boiling water, fire, whatever is needed. I like the true light side jinns. In fact, I'm going to share with you out there my personal experience with a jinn. Oh, this is very precious to me. This little genie kettle, it's a real one. If I take off the lid, you can actually see there, it's actually been used for what?
It's an oil lamp.
It's an oil lamp, yes. He's got one as well. You put oil in there, and there will be a small little, you know, like a pit. You call it a pit, a candle pit or whatever, that small little thing. And you light it there, and as long as there's oil in the lamp, the little, it's like a candle, the little oil lamp will burn. But what happened to me, and this cattle Cabos and me went to a lady who translated book 2 in the Brahma's writings. That was years, it was decades ago. So she had shelves full of copper, you know, one of this was the only one, but I mean, she collect them, you know, small little copper items. The whole wall of the lounge in the house was full of this, and I don't know why, but there were no lights. I didn't move, I was sitting still, but the shine on this one, you know, every time I looked in her direction, I saw this. It is like a sparky. And I couldn't understand why. Now she looked at me and said, Ernst, I dreamed about you. And I thought, oh, spare me this. But in any case, there's something that must be yours for the next decades, until the most I will decide otherwise. And I thought, oh, am I going to inherit or what? And she went to her shelves and she took down this little kettle. So we went home, and during the first chance we had to communicate two-way to the guides, I asked them, it was Yule. I said, Yule, he's a Davros, he's the only one. And I asked him, is there something in this kettle? Because I told him what I saw, you know. I mean, there's hundreds, maybe a few hundred items, and only the one. They are all polished, but only the one is making this little, you know, a spark. And he said to me, you've got a real genie lamp there, and there's a real djinn inside it. And I got startled. I said, oh, is he going to burn down the house? And you laughed. He said, no, you've got a good genie there, so you know you have 3 wishes. I said, really? Isn't that only child's stories? And so he said, no, trust me on this one. That genie wanted to come to you. It's your chance, so wish good wishes. I said, thank you. And we put the genie kettle key on the altar. The first wish I wished, you can guess, wisdom. Spiritual wisdom. I don't want the wisdom to know how a rugby team works, or you know how a soccer team works. It's very interesting, you know, especially soccer also, but this is not me. I'm not here for that reasons. And to ask for spiritual wisdom, and you get it. You know, even here where I sit, I get a kind of emotional, you know, something here. Because it's so precious, you know. The one day I wished, and I took the little kettle, and I just asked the Most High, and my whole body started tinkling, and I just, you know, the tears flowed, and I just went and sleep. My friend, the next week, yes. Wherever I go, I see stuff that I never saw before. I heard voices telling me, this one that you see coming, she's going to ask you this and that. Are you prepared? Leave it for me, I'll do it for you. And in the beginning, that jinn or somebody, I talked about stuff that I really didn't know where I got it from. And then I had to confirm it through the team up there, and they said, yeah, this is you, ask for wisdom, you will have it. And that went on for a long time. And then I thought, what about the second wish? What do you think I asked?
More wisdom.
More wisdom. But also the chance, the wisdom is wisdom, you know, spiritual wisdom. But the second one was the wisdom to be able to look into higher dimensions. You know, at that stage I saw in a few dimensions, but not so wide. I mean, really. And that was granted. The same effect, a pure tinkling effect, emotional, as if, of course, I will give it to you. You know, come here. The same happened, you know, weird things started to happen, and then a third wish remained. And I asked the Holy Yule, is he still in this little kettle? He said, yes, you've got one wish left. And I thought it over, and I thought, you know what, this little, not the kettle, the little jinn inside the kettle, because he will still be here until the 3 wishes is fulfilled. And I asked, I didn't know what to wish for, because it's a life form inside here, and it is like part of the family. I don't want anything that is from the light side just to go away, because I want to wish a wish. No. He's part of the spiritual family. He came to me and I said, okay, my third wish will be for him to decide whether he wants to stay with us till the day I soul transfer back to where I come from or where I should go. And but I don't want to keep him here if he's not happy here. I cannot think of any other house that he will be more happy than in this house. But, I love life forms, doesn't matter what. And this one, I left it for him. And you know what? He stayed with. He's still in the kettle. He wanted to be here, and I'm so in love with this little kettle. I'm going to put it here. If you want to look at it, you can look at it. I think you will see it there. But in any case, this is another story. One Sunday afternoon, while Cabos Valley, Enrico and I had our usual Sunday afternoon two-way communication session with the True Light Side deities representatives, our teacher on the other side was Zizinogolo, whatever. Can you pronounce it?
Zizinoglo.
That's it. Thank you. Oh, my English must improve. Zizinoglo. Thank you so much. You pronounced it absolutely 100%.
Okay.
He's a true light side jinn, and when we heard that he is a genie once again, I thought, could we be so lucky? But in any case, a true light side jinn, there is no way that I will not believe in jinns. What I'm not allowed to share with you, he gave us a mantra. Do you have the mantra? We must give it actually to you. When you recitate it, I think for 7 days, 10 times a day. Let's say 8 o'clock tonight, you do that whole little thing and you say the mantra 10 times for 7 days. Yay. Then you can, you actually first have to wish the wish and then you do the mantra, and after the 7th day it will be, if it is reasonable. If you go there, I mean, it must be something spiritual, You cannot go there, I wish I get the lotto. I mean, really, no.
You keep
This
that
belongs
for
to
yourself.
the spiritual people, not to the people hunting money down. Definitely not. We're not from that side. Thank you, but no thank you. The next so-called nature spirit are you. In order now, do you have anything more to say on jinns? So now you know why I believe in jinns.
Ernst, actually what I was just thinking about, the one house that we moved into here in Wilhof that was sick?
Yes.
In the kitchen.
There was a fire jinn in her
Yes.
kitchen. Yeah, you can tell them.
Yeah, so every time
that was a dark side one.
Yeah,
eh?
definitely.
And why? What did he do?
No, it was definitely, let me tell you, when we moved in there, you can actually notice all of the oil spats on the walls in the kitchen. It was like on the most ridiculous spaces.
Horrible.
And when we started using the oven and using oil and stuff like that, it actually it's definitely like that effect. Here you have the casserole in your one hand, maybe with the spoon in the other hand. It's definitely like something like this.
Yeah, something
You will burn yourself.
Yeah.
It will make you burn yourself.
If you hold it like this, hold something, it will do this.
Exactly like
Or
that.
it will do this.
Yeah.
They do it.
They do it, yeah, and there was one in that kitchen of ours also, yeah. So
Yeah, when
it
she
was
told us
definitely-
about, I was very startled and I said, no, let's go and do something quickly. And luckily, You know, that was one who came up the drain pipes. Am I correct? So yes, they come into your house by means of drain pipes, through the toilets, everywhere. You cannot imagine,
Yeah, no, that was...
And in some cases, they go in electrical lines, you know, like, what do you call this? A lead light. Electricity cables or whatever. Yeah. So the next so-called nature spirit or forest creature I would like to share information on is the Pixies.
Aaron, I think our friends out there are picturing Pixies as a small life form. Could you please correct them?
Thank you, Kabosi. Before I share information on Pixies, let me start with Ileska. Ileska is the name of the body of flesh you see with your naked eyes. This one with the most beautiful, she always looks like a small little daughter, you know, and with that beautiful smile on the face and the innocent in the eyes. You are beautiful. You can be proud of being beautiful. You are beautiful. And oh, you must see the hair, always neat, but if it hangs loose, it is so beautiful to look at. Yeah, Ileska is the name of the body of flesh, and what's giving consciousness to a body is known to be as the Bruba. A Bruba is a superior life form, or consciousness-giving life form appointed over all invisible to the naked human eyes. Forest creatures, forests we refer to as the woods. Let's go to the woodlands, you know, or something like that, but I think you know what I mean. Now each kind of invisible or each kind of invisible to the human eyes forest creature or nature spirit is part of an endless hierarchical structure accommodating them from the highest in rank and power to the lowest in rank and power. Now, just like humans live through lifespans where there were big giants and small people, forest creatures also went through the same growth. Do you think the Most High up there and his creator Gnomes and the super all creator Gnomes will put you get with time spans of the giants, as we showed our friends out there in previous programs with that huge steps. You remember the steps? And now why will they live there if we as humans live like we are living now? It's ridiculous. It doesn't work. It goes through spans, and of course they will never get extinct. But I mean, with who will they mingle here? With people, humanities on earth. And that is why, you know, they prefer to be small. Nay, just like we all, you know, me and you and him and her and everybody, we were all so small when we were born, and we were beautiful and we grow up. But I mean, eventually, I must also get extinct, you know. I must also soul, and the body goes back to the earth. They all like that, but what do we know? They, even a humanity or a kind of animal, I mean, science want to tell us that a big astronaut or something hit the earth and then bang, that could be possible. Especially in the area where those animals roam or whatever. That is possible. But that is once in 200 million years that will happen. What usually happens is they get extinct. You know, like the strandlopers and all those, I don't know what to call them, that Jan van Riebeeck and the other guys, you know, they came to meet them here in South Africa, where there were those, if you want to call them people, there were no roads, no harbors for the ships, no cities, no infrastructure. I mean, what happened to all those that Jan van Riebeeck and Vasco da Gama talked about? They got extinct, but they are still here and there. You will find one of them, you know, even after wars, there are people still hiding in caves, you know, they don't even know the war's ended or. Now, yeah, the big incised ones are known to me as the pastos. Now, what am I talking about now? The small little pixies and all the other fairies and whatever. I mean, a fairy could have had the size of the giants also, you know, 40 stories high, because how are they going to you know, do the necessary for the plants to be colorful or whatever if they are so small and the plant are like a skyscraper building, of course. So we are in that time span. I mean, if there are still people out there who think the earth is 6,000 years old, I don't know what to say. I mean, there's people in the fourth world on earth that knows of better, so I don't know where those people fit in, but in any case, yeah, we call them pastos, where pastor is connected to a consciousness giving life form. That person's behavior and or looks will remind you of some or other animal. Pastor serves like an extra helper, and this, I think I'm correct, we did want to confirm this info before this program, but unfortunately all the guides were too busy on Sunday. We didn't have the meeting, and but if what I'm going to say is wrong, I will correct it in a future program or somewhere in the next program, but I don't think I'm wrong. I went into a trance when I compiled this program. I was being shown, you know, you can, let's say the body you give consciousness to die now. You go out there to Voatse, now you come back. Let's say, all depends on no two persons or no two human consciousness giving life forms will be treated the same way. I mean, the one will go in and immediately be reincarnated in the next body, while other people stay there for 10, 20,000 years on other planets before they come here. So, you know, maybe the nature elements, you know, who were human size, want to come over to our time span now, and they cannot, because on the other side they were, let's say, a pixie or a something, and now all of a sudden, remember I'm talking about nature spirits, not physical animals in the kingdom that you can see. And when you let's say somebody has been born now on earth, maybe it's his first year or he's here from wherever, but he comes now from dimension 2, the animal kingdoms or whatever, where he was something. Now he need, if he was an owl, he need an owl to be with him. You know, it's like the Susukurgang, what is that? A crossover process from animal kingdom. Not that they were, remember, they could have been a pixie, a long person, but they still need, because they haven't got the pixie brains now, they now have human brains, you know, so it's actually a life form that's being adjusted to be able to fit in a human body. This is where this pastos comes from, but I'm sure I'm correct. Here in Bloemfontein, South Africa, we came upon people with different pastos attached to them or inside of them. Amongst others, an owl. Can you imagine a person look? You are going to laugh out there, because I know you know people looking like an owl. How does an owl's face look? Can you try and mimic it? Yeah. You know, something like that. Or a pixie, a little monkey, a shapeshifter, a troll, what do you say it? A troll. You know, that big thing. creature with a hair standing on end, an elf and a hobbit, to name just a few. Now I am extremely fortunate to be able to see these helper pastors in or attached to human bodies, especially when they walk or talk. The person now. Now the first pastor I came across is a friend of mine's mother. You know, she is long time not here with us. I mean, I were at school. I didn't know of pastors during that stages of my life, but I was in matric, grade 12, and two of my friends, they were brothers. I met their mom and dad, and I think it was her mom's best friend at that stage. But when they had a small little owl, you know, so it's like it was made of grass or something, but it looks very genuine. And when I saw this woman, and I saw this little thing on the one of the shelves there, I started laughing. I thought, this cannot be. This woman looks like this little. But in any case, I didn't know it was. But in a business in Bloemfontein, yeah, I saw a young man with ears like a real pixie. We are not going to name businesses or so, but I can promise you, the young man is about 5 feet in length. That's 1.5 to 4 meters, which make him shorter than average men here in South Africa, especially in Bloemfontein. He has longer than average hair, which hangs about here, and I think that is to cover the pointed ears. He definitely got pointed ears. So in the beginning I thought, is he now a pixie or is he an elf? And when I spoke to him, the way he spoke, I recognized him as to be an elf or a pastor in that, a pastor elf in that. But in this case now a pixie. But I asked him what he was interested in here on earth, because you know a lot of young people are still studying at universities or so, and he replied that he studies forestry. Now is that not, I mean, 2 and 2 gives 4. One guy I know has got a little monkey pastor with him, longer than usual arms. This is now the person, very skinny built, but with movements of a little monkey. You know, an ordinary person will not see it, but I saw it. You know, it was like as it is, if he wants to eat or something, you know, the hands will go. You must actually see it to be. Now, the kind of shapeshifter I like most is known to me as a hepera. Now, some heperas have a shadow, and other heperas don't have a shadow. Now, when a hepera gives consciousness to a human body, that person's body will shapeshift visibly in front of our eyes. Now, me and Kobus, we met a hepera here in Bloemfontein, and she had a boyfriend. We actually know the boyfriend. He's very young, and he came to introduce us to his new girlfriend, which was a hepera. And in the 4 hours or so that they visited here, she shapeshifted in 4 different, not facial expressions, body. Yeah. The one time she looks as small as this one, 16 years old. You know, the other time she looks 35 or so. But I thought, yeah, when we greeted them bye-bye at the car, you know, when they left, I thought to myself, yeah, this is now the 4th person standing. How is it possible? And that is where they told me it was a hepera. Now, yeah, you cannot believe, you know, the second time that guy came in here, I thought to myself, you know, I'm not a person that will walk around scallop, on a sexual level. I did that when I was very young, but I left it also decades ago. But in any case, uh, and sometimes they make me feel rude inside myself when I see a person cheating on his loved one. But in any case, that guy came here and I was sitting here and I watched out there and I saw him with this. Looks to me like a standard 7, 8 schoolgirl. And I said, yes. And as soon as they enter, I wanted to, it was on my tongue to ask him, now where is, let's say her name was Sonia. Where's Sonia that you come, are you cheating over this? And it is the same woman once again with a fifth expression. Now, I don't think maybe she will get tired of me, because maybe she were here in front doing it and I would walk past her, I would not recognize her because every time she looks different. Now, yeah, what about a troll? Oh. Have you ever saw a human troll in your life?
Yeah.
You did. I know men who are very well overweight. Without naming him, this man does not eat like an ordinary person. The first time I saw this man eating, I got the impression that he was angry with everybody looking at him because he is so extremely overweight and is eating so much, He will not, let's say, eat with a knife and fork if it's not absolutely. He will take a handful of slop chips, potato chips, and you actually hear it, What are you looking at? That I'm like to eat. What are you looking at? He's got that attitude. You look at him. I cannot feel sorry for a person like that. But in any case, then I didn't understood what was going on, and when I thought somebody bewitched him, with a Contesala spell or something, that he became so extremely overweight, but it was not the case. It was but just he ate too much. And when I asked the guides about another person that I saw, he said to me, yes, some of those are real troller. That's a spirit. Also, they are actually real. They are just incarnated in a human body, and now they live like troller. Have you ever seen an elf in a human body?
Yes,
have you? Where?
That one, I'm not going to tell you if you know it, but that one WWE wrestler who was last night on TV as well.
Oh, yes. We can give them a hint. You can go on WWE, it's a wrestling channel. Oh, I love it. I'm not a wrestler myself, but the science behind the sport of wrestling. Now, only once a week, for about 40 minutes, we check those fights. We've got the hand control, check the fight, skip everything else in between, and within half an hour you are through the whole hour or so. It's a lot of people fighting there, but I love it to see those people. And if you know what I'm talking about, you can watch the WWE wrestlers. You will very quickly identify an elf in there. Thank you. The hint on what an elf looks like can be found in the series Lord of the Rings. They may have pointed ears like pixies, although their way of thinking deeper than ordinary humans gives them away. The one in the wrestling area, if you look at him, okay, they all try to be the best, people must fear them when they look at them. They've got that attitude, but you can read about it. If he's elf, he will be a dark elf for sure. I don't think he's good. But if you look or you watch the Lord of the Ring picture, the movie, you will see the difference. They look like one another. All of them have pointed ears, but some are shorter ones and the others are human in length. But if they speak, you can hear. It's almost philosophical. You know, I'm a philosopher in true deity science. I like people who think like a philosopher. So far, I like them the best of all the nature spirits I've met. And what can we tell them about elves, Wobus? Here with us.
We've got actually a couple of them living.
Let me tell you, think about this house. I'll tell them about the other one. You know, we've got when I was small, my mom always, not small, but when we just entered, yeah, let's say I was about, what age, somewhere in my 30s. My mom always came to me and said, you know, somebody touched me at my bum or something. I said, ah, Ma, you would be lucky. You don't even want to go out for friends. Where will it be a ghost or so? Until one of her lady friends told me, you know what, I also laughed when your mom told me that something touches her on the bum. And when I visited your mom, it happened to me twice, one morning's time. So I think you should look into it. And we consulted, and yes, his name was Bah. B-A-H. Bah. It sounds so nice, you know. Now, one day after my mom died, well, she soul transferred, I lived in that room, you know, and until one day something also touched me. It feels like something is doing this. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But you can,
Something, yeah.
look because somebody
You can
just
feel it, yeah.
wanted your attention and there's
Yeah.
nobody. And then, second occasion, I was working in those days away from here. And when I came back, you know, almost every afternoon, I will see that we had not poodles, Yorkies in those days. And it looks as if you are doing this. You know, the Yorkies hop and jump and look around the bark and goes mad. It looks as if somebody invisible are playing with it. And if it was not here, it was there in the garden temple, where the garden temple is now. And I asked also the guides, what is this that the dogs play with? And they told me it is a whole family of elves living on that side and that side. Two whole families. But don't let the dogs barking, you know, they play with the dogs, but they are light side elves. But if you need a little bit the dogs to calm down, just go out and say the dog, the name of the dog, and then what is the magical word? Lemahutla. And if it's an elf, the elf's vibration will higher or lower, and the dog will not see it for a few hours. I think it's about 4 or 5 hours, then they will become visible again. So yes, what do you have to tell? Let's hear.
We adopted a wild cat that came into the house. The cat was quite small at that point in time, and he was very, very, very sick. He had coccidia. Normally they put out the cats with that, but I asked the veterinarian, please help me, and we got it. Okay, we got him through that. And I saw the one day that the cat, then it's running like something is chasing him, then he stops, and then he looks like he's chasing someone, and I couldn't understand what's going on. And so we also had the communication, and they said to us, but he's got his own elf.
A small elfie is about what, 1.5 meter in length. Small little baby elf.
I can't remember the
name of the elf. I cannot also. but it doesn't matter. And then during one, we've got now, as you can imagine, how many foster cats do we have?
We've got 12 inside the house, and
this is a bushveld cabin, not a big house.
There's a couple outside. In total, there's 17.
Okay, we've got 17 children, cat children, yeah. And it's so nice to watch them all, But if you hear that one of your cat children has got a Elfie as a guide, it's so nice to hear. But one night, me and Kabas were lying in bed watching a movie on which we did research. One of Dark Ghosts.
No.
And if you watch Dark Ghosts, that guy is it's a Russian paranormal activity researcher. And I like him because he's as psychic as I am. When the camera goes in and I see the screen, what he sees, I will immediately see something that I know other people will not see, and I will wish him to go there and see what it is, and he will do that. Because he can see what I see, he can feel. It is so good. Dark Ghost, his name is Dennis, or Denis. But a beautiful guy, and he does beautiful work. If you see what that guy must go through to compile one program. We are sitting here in the luxury. We are almost winter time. You saw the garden out there. That man walks 10, 20 miles through deep snow, just to get to a haunted house, to get answers on what's going on after death. I mean, it's Russia. I wish I could get that man here to share info. I learn a lot from him, but I'm sure I can also give him a few tips, But in any case, it was during one of those research movies, and one of the cats, Snooky, her name is Snooky, actually Zutorna, her spiritual name, meaning the wanderer. She came out here wandering, looking for a home, and we took her in. But her eyes are like this, you cannot see the eyes. It looks like almost as if the eyes are closed, and she was lying there at my feet. And the next moment I got a very eerie feeling at my right hand side, and when I looked at Snooky, those Kreefietjie's eyes were round as this, and she was looking to hear the entrance. And I thought, oh, what is she seeing now? And when I looked, just in time to see a big elf, my own size, or Kabou's size, going around. So immediately, what is this elf in my house? Is he good or bad? He's good, keep him there, right, thank you. And so we went on. What is another thing that we should look into? A hobbit.
We know one.
You know what? We cannot share names, unfortunately not. Now, we have a real hobbit staying very near where we stay. The first time I looked into this man's eyes, I looked into the eyes of a hobbit. I consulted our guides on this one, and the answer was positive. What did they answer? You looked well. Jy weet, jy het mooi gekyk. And yes, he is a hobbit. So yes.
Ernst, what about small forest creatures who are visible to the human three-dimensional eyes?
Ilaska, if I can start off with pixies again. We have, among other forest creatures, a pixie in our garden, but we are not allowed. We took photos of the garden at night time. I don't know why. I think we were led to do it, because who's going out in the moonlight taking pictures? But it was a full moon in any case, and I wanted to see what the swimming pool, the side of the swimming pool will look in. I was trying to fix the camera. I'm not very good in technology. And when I took a photo there was a pixie. He's about this size, hanging over, you know, to the. And we took the photo, and I asked the guys, and they said, "Oh yes, his name is Bluester, but they refer to him as very naughty." So we know we've got our own little pixie here, and his name is Bluester. Now, Erwin Saunders is well known for his knowledge on pixies and other forest creatures or life forms. He had his own program on forest creatures on television. That went viral. Now, he took that photo of a pixie. And thanks, Erwin, if we can use your picture for educational, to let other people also see what it is about. Thank you so much.
What about elves, Aaron?
Kabosi, we've got 2 families of elves, as I said, one there and the other one in the garden temple, and then the one bar next door, the small one here and the other one here. Now, who of you doesn't like fairies?
We all love fairies.
Except
I
for the
love
dark
fairies.
side ones.
Yes. No, not the dark side. I never saw a dark side fairy. But a long time ago, we met a little boy who is different from other children because his consciousness giving life form was reincarnated from a planet named by the creator Gnomes as Pluto. Pluto is part of the Pleiades, where only women lives on that specific planet where this guy comes from as a consciousness giving soul body. They are only women. Now, when I met this child, he was about 7 years of age. I think he was 7, could be 6 also. But his mom was a client of mine, and she came in and she said to me, she don't know, she's got a small boy, and since he was 3 years of age, at night he will climb out the window and she will find him sitting on the grass. And when she called him, let's say his name is Pete. Pete, what are you doing outside? Mommy, I want to go back to my planet. I'm not happy here. And the mom said, she must come to me. So I did my trick, and I asked the guys if they could help us, and they said yes. He's coming from a planet, Pluto or whatever, and they told me what to tell him and how to greet him. And they told me that all his spiritual guides will be long people. They told me that he will be also gay, like me and Kobus and the other 2 and you. And that they are all long, very skinny persons. And then I asked his mom to bring him around, and I actually for a moment just stand there, make myself invisible for anybody. And the child came out, he ran about, and he said to his mom, "Mommy, look at all the angels in this place." And he started counting them, and he was absolutely, like a child. He was running around, and then all of a sudden he pointed to the ground and he said, "Look, Mommy, there's skeletons of dogs. It looks like poodles." And I thought, ooh, how can this child see? Because we know where we buried the corpses of the dogs, the ex-dogs. And he saw that. And all of a sudden he said to his mom, "You know that the Free State was a swamp millions of years ago. Now, where will a child of 6 hear of that?" But in any case, when I saw him there, I was prepared, and I said, "Hello, so-and-so of Pluto." And he immediately recognized, and he was very in favor of me. He showed me tricks. He showed me, I said to him, listen, do you see fairies? I said, yes, there's a lot there. And he showed me all the places that we know there are fairies. He didn't know that. And you know what? If he took a small stone in his hand, like an amethyst, he will do this. He will think and he will open it, will start shining. I don't know what, it's magic, but he does it. You can see the color. It looks like this, you know, it looks as if it comes from the, he's one of those strange children. Not strange, but up here. Yeah, and you know about the constellation people of 201,365,130 years ago. This boy was one of those souls, human souls, and he was one who passed the test of time, and he were promoted to another planet, and so his journey began, and 201 million years, whatever, after, he's now back on Earth to bring to us a lot of new cosmic sciences. But it's time to be revealed. It's not yet there. We know about him, and we don't know about him. Right. Then comes Varias Verolda, which is one of Cabos's guides. Cabos, you can tell the details of what happened.
Various, we had the ceremony here, and Various came and said, I need to go get errands. I went and get errands, and we went outside to that one spot that we showed you at the back of the garden. And Various actually gave us a method how to see fairies.
With our own naked eyes.
And that was so awesome, and we did it a couple of times, and we actually learned the rest of the group as well about it.
Yes.
So there's many times that we just go out, light our candles, sit back and
enjoy the fairy wonders of the garden. It is so beautiful. You don't, even the cats. There's a few, as he mentioned, that can go outside. You know, for me, other people will get mad when they've got a beautiful garden and dogs or cat come and jump around in the flowers. I love it. You know, there's like, what's her name, Mamiki, or they always hide, you know, between the big plants, and when you come by, you cannot see them. But they played hide and seek.
Yeah.
But where they cannot move, they jump like this, you know, and it's so beautiful to see animals jumping with pride and pleasure, chasing invisible little things in your garden. It's so beautiful. I cannot imagine a life without that. That is so beautiful.
As you look at where they actually slice in between the plants and playing between the plants, is where the fairies are.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yes. So what are they seeing? You know, they play with them. I mean, I can see.
So, Ernst, and what about gnomes?
Ooh.
Who of you saw gnomes?
Yeah. Who saw gnomes before? Oh, sorry for my nose. That's always itching. You know, at my age, everything itches that is above the neckline. Yeah. A gnome is also, I'm going to give you a hint. Why do they call a gnome in Ireland? Before you say you saw one of those, also in WWE, small little short man with a hammer and green clothing on. Not his name, but a leprechaun. You call them leprechauns, although leprechauns to me is more, I don't like them very much. But ordinary gnomes, yes. You know, the one with a little hat on, etc. I love those. Now, yeah, whatever you see or imagine to be a small nature creature, like a pixie for instance, always remember the times of the giant humans. There were and there are still giant humans of different sizes on Earth, that I can promise you. We also know that throughout 240 billion years up to today, we have large pixies and we have small pixies, etc. We have fairies of moderate human size and small fairies. Think of the large trees and the mushrooms, as I told you, you know. Will a fairy have to fly 3 days and 3 nights just to get on top of the mushroom that are bigger, you know, the top part of the biggest building you can imagine. If gods and goddesses like or lives in human bodies amongst us, nature consciousness giving life forms also lives among us in all their kinds and shapes. Those pasos who are too small to give consciousness to a human body are attached to human bodies. You must try and remember this stuff, because it's actually, you must know what to look for. Even if you look at a person or you look, just sit still, go to Urban Saunders's programs and just see. He camouflages him so well, and it works because we do it. We can camouflage ourselves very well, no bodily odors of perfumes or whatever. You can, you know, as if you are going to hunt, and you can roll in the dust to, the smell must be the same. No, you know, mouth brush or something for that specific time. They must smell you and they must smell nature. Now, if you camo and you sit very still, and you know, not even your eyes must move properly, because they are very shy, but they are very wake up also. And when you sit silently in a place where they should be, they will appear. Now, yeah, what about a salamander? I've never saw a salamander in real life. Especially, you know, the real salamander, the animal. Yes, I do have, but and also in movies, on video clips, on pictures, etc. But I've never saw a salamander in one person like a pastor will fit in a person. Remember what Gabos told you how to see fairies? I think you must actually, because it is, or well, I quickly, you can just, if you want to see fairies, there's a few rules. First rule, you cannot glare at them. Your eyes. You know, if you sit and I'm going to sit there and I watch you the whole time like this, I can promise you can feel it. Where I look, you are going. We've discussed that in previous. So what is a fairy? A small little life form like this. You can actually see through them. You know, they are like this fishes, and they wear clothing because of that. So if you are going to glare at a fairy like this and screaming, "Oh, that's a fairy," I think, you know, you will be struck by lightning.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, it will not work. There's rules. You must go. It must be silent. You must be sacred space. Don't, you know, if you don't have a good expression out of your eyes, think of something that can make you humble. Think to become like a child. Then you light candles, usually 3 candles, and you lay on your tummy or your front side, and you lay like this, you know, your hands here. And now all of a sudden you focus, and when you feel exactly like a child, you open your eyes and you look through the 3 flames. They must be about this apart, 3 of them. Now you will see the glow of the candles, around the candles. Now you put your hand like this and you start here, eh?
Yeah, it's on the pinky. You start on the pinky.
On the pinky, the little finger,
there will be a red light on your.
That's it.
The moment that red light goes green, look at your next finger.
Yes.
The same will be a
Until you
red.
see the red little light.
If the red light
Focus.
turns green, you can go to the next finger. If all the fingers lights are green, you drop
You
your
just
hand.
drop your hand slowly and you stare through the auras of the little, and you will see them. I was so shocked when I did that, and I lowered my hand and I adjust and I looked. It was like a whole realm opening in front of me. I cannot imagine. It's blue and purple and all the colors of the rainbow. You know, the whole garden actually disappeared. You saw, it's like a village opening, and you can see them, the little houses.
And something else, if these lights comes on, and you need to central your hand. So all the lights must be green. At the moment that one is red, you need to adjust your hand to get the correct
You go
form.
back, you must see that it looks like a little light on the knuckles. So mine appeared here, just below the nail. And when the last one here was another one appearing. There where I put my finger there. And as soon as I saw that, just lower and do this and look through it. There we go. So good luck on that one.
So in the next program, which is program O, we are going to review ancient wisdom secrets on visible third dimensional demons. We live in the third dimension. Do third dimension demons exist? What do they look like, and where can I find and see them? So don't miss out on it, and remember to press the subscribe, like, share buttons, as well as the little bell icon to be in line for more ancient wisdom secrets. Until then, love and light to all of you.
Bye.